Camera. Mic check. Let's rock. Called the man of the masses. Learn to also get along with your bosses.
Hello, welcome back to yet another episode of Leaders Under Light 2.0. We have a special guest today. Some folks in our company call him the man of the masses. He is a loved figure within the company, and some stories involving him are starting to take the form of epic legends. The Phantom of HCCB. Watch as we unfold his leadership style, how he establishes his connect with the people that he works with, his way of motivating our frontline champions at the HCCB, and let's unravel the man behind all these stories. Today, in Leaders Under Light 2.0, we sit down with nobody else but Sunil Lobo, Chief Commercial Officer at HCCB. And I am Gaurav Sharma, your host, Chief People Officer for Hindustan Coca-Cola Beverages. So sit back, relax, this is going to be great. So welcome Sunil to Leaders Under Light 2.0. You know, you are man of the masses, as I was saying. There are many people who follow you in HCCB. People admire you. They look up to you. In fact, there is this legend in the company that somebody has a tattoo of your name on their forearm.
Oh my God.
Very few leaders enjoy this kind of cult following. How do you do it?
Thanks, Gaurav. Thanks for inviting me here. But let me tell you, while you say I'm loved in the organization, actually it's somewhere in the middle. I do have a fair share of detractors. So it's not all that hunky-dory. But yeah, truth is that, I have worked across many geographies in the organization and been through a lot of languages, cultures, different kind of people, worked with different strata of the society. And that's helped me to bring myself closer to people. And over a period of time, you start realizing what your inner strengths are and what you should work on. So let me give you an example of very early in my career. I remember in the first appraisal when I was a management trainee and my boss said, Sunil, you're like fabulous, man. You're too good with people. You've got amazing leadership skills. You're like, you can make stones talk and you're this and you're that. And I was like, wow. And then the next year I didn't perform too well. And then I got feedback saying, Sunil, you're too soft with people, man. You need to actually, get a little tougher. You're putting people before performance. I think you've got a lot of developmental skills. And then over a period of time, very early in my career, I realized every time my performance was good, I would get some amazing feedback about people. And every time my performance was bad, the same people would give me some very negative feedback. So that is something I picked up earlier where I felt that, look, come what may, I do have some skills of bonding with people. At the same time, I do have this ability of getting my bosses riled up with me very early in my career. It takes some time to manage them. But over a period of time, I've developed this feeling of being transparent. So I'm very transparent with people and I want them to be treated with respect. I'm close to people and probably people are closer to me because I ensure that everyone is treated with respect. You may be an MGR, you may be my boss. You're going to get the same kind of respect from me because I believe that dignity of labor is something that we need to develop in our country, and hence I'm close to people. Probably that's the love that I get from everybody. I'm one of the luckiest guys. I have more than I need, and that's because of the love of all the people in the organization. So I'm blessed. That's all I can say.
Wow. With all that connection that you spoke about, how does it feel to gain so much of love and respect? Does it add a lot of responsibility and pressure to you? How do you handle that?
Responsibility, yes. Pressure, absolutely. Actually, in fact, it's damn simple and cool. This love and respect I get, it actually gives me the energy to work harder and ensure that, look, I'm nowhere close to a leader, but at least it gives me an opportunity to know that someday I can be a leader like many people whom I admire. As I said, being honest, transparent, fair to people is something that I believe in, and everyone's innocent till they are proven guilty. and hence it becomes very easy. But I do agree that sometimes it can be a little bit difficult, especially when you are so close to people. And I don't ever deny that I'm close to people. You have to bring a lot of objectivity into discussions, because sometimes you're actually speaking to very close friends over the years for their development and their performance, and you've got to be objective in what you tell them, because I believe in honesty and truth.
Yeah.
I want to walk the talk. I want people to know that I'm transparent, and they should also be. And hence, sometimes it can get a bit difficult, but that's the learning curve. I mean, you can't have it all. If I believe that I want to be close to people, I want their love and respect, then I also have to have the ability to, probably pat the right guy on his back and kick up the backside for the guy who's not doing well, in all honesty and transparency. Mix of both, but I don't really think it's pressure. I love it.
Thanks for demystifying this as well. I can totally connect with what you're saying. And that humility, that transparency, that honesty you're talking about, it's even coming out in the way you are decoding the man that you are. So Sunil, we are talking about your leadership style, right? We are talking about the way you've connected with people. Now, you are at the helm of the commercial function, right? Where people look up to you. And ours is not an easy business. We have a good days and we have a bad days. I want to understand from you, how do you motivate your people when things are going well? How do you keep them going day in, day out, doing the right thing so we continue to win in the marketplace?
What do we sell? We sell happiness. Every time you open a bottle of Coke, you sell happiness. And what is this business without happiness? It's my responsibility. It's my duty to ensure that everyone wakes up in the morning and he is happy about going to work, because what he's going to do is sell happiness, and joy, and he's got to be happy. For me, it's very important to connect with people in the organization, understand their needs, and be able to satisfy their needs. I don't follow or I don't push for outcomes. I push for processes. I believe that if we have an aligned strategy and our execution is in place, we will achieve our goal, because we are highly into execution. Let me give you a small example, and I know you will be surprised with this, but currently I am connecting with 100 managers in the organization. 100 managers. And I say this with pride, because this is my passion. I am spending 45 minutes with each one of them, and I want to complete this 100 by the end of July. And this is in between all the work that we do, and you know what work we do. And my job is only to ask them what they have understood about the culture of the organization over the last 6 months. And it's a feedback for me since I've been in this role. What they think, according to them, are the strategic pillars of the organization. What they believe are the new ways of working in the organization. After they answer me, I tell them what it really is in case it's a little bit, and then I ask them about themselves and where they are today in their career, what help they need to move to the next level, and what options they have in the organization. It's not easy, it's draining, I'll tell you, but that's what I do to keep them motivated. Because at the end of the day, if I don't connect with my people, if I don't have the right process, if I don't have the right execution matrix in place, nothing's going to happen, because I can't keep following up on a day-to-day basis on the outcomes. The outcomes will follow the process. So I love doing it. As I said, I'm passionate about it. Sometimes it can be draining, but it's my responsibility to keep them motivated, because they keep me happy at the end of the day. So that's what I do.
Amazing. It's not a mean feat connecting with 100 leaders and investing 45 minutes of your time, taking it out from your busy schedule. But I know this will pay dividends in the long term. And now I can understand more and more, why are you man of the masses? Because of your connect, understanding what people need and helping them become better versions of themselves.
Gaurav, they have helped me more than I have helped them. Trust me.
Yeah.
I owe it all.
Awesome. Hey, you said we are in the business of selling happiness, right? And who better than our frontline champions, our MGRs, who make it possible? They are the ones who make it possible for us to sit here and talk about business. Now, having come all the way that you have in the organization and leading the commercial function, how do you keep your connection on with our frontline champions, our MGRs?
You don't lose or you don't stop talking to your old friends because you moved ahead in life. When I and let me take this moment to also tell you that I'm a Bandra boy.
There we go again.
Lived my life true and true with all those boys around over there. I still miss them and I want to go back to them. From all the pressures of work, the fun that I have at work, but the truth is I miss them. I want to go back on a weekend, probably have a drink with them, talk over the good old days. I have not forgotten them because we moved on. Yes, I do have a few detractors. There are some who don't really want to be connected with me. Same with my MGRs. Just because I've moved on, it doesn't mean I'm going to disconnect myself from them. I push the entire organization to ensure that they work in the market with the MGRs. We do market impact teams, that's MITs. Any new launches, any small events that we have, everyone who goes to the market has to work with the MGRs. Do the route with them, book the orders on the sales, on the tab that we have, and get them, talking to the MGRs to understand what they do. And I want to walk that talk. And hence, I want to go into the marketplace and connect with them. What makes me happy? And I'll tell you, it makes me really happy. Is that for every Christmas, for every New Year, for my birthdays, for any festival, I would probably getting 2,000 messages from the MGRs. And my wife knows for sure I'm going to reply to each and every message because all of them will message me and I will reply to them. Because that's, as I said, that's my connection. Social connection, working with them in the market. Once in a while they will call. I know there are 5,000 MGRs and not all have worked with me. But I can tell you, even if it's a handful of 200, 300 or 400 who keep connecting with me, I can continue to keep that connect with the organization. So that's how I do it. I mean, there's no rocket science to it. It's physical, hard labor of communicating with people whenever they want to speak to you. That's it. There's nothing magical about it.
You make it sound very simple, Sunil. And for a lot of people, they read a lot of books. They go to a lot of classes. They take a lot of lessons on how to provide this leadership. And the way you're doing it is you're demystifying it, making it so simple for any of us to learn and follow. And I appreciate you for that.
Oh, yeah. I hope you tell my boss that. He's forcing me to keep reading books every day. Can you tell him?
We will send a snippet to him as well now. A lot of management trainees here have mentioned to me that they joined Coca-Cola because you went to campus.
I hear that a lot. I know.
You are an HCCB, you are a Coca-Cola veteran, right? Now, what would you tell our audience? The advantages, the distinct advantages that we offer, and why should people come and work for us?
I can go on and on till tomorrow morning, but just look at me. I'm here. Okay. And I always tell everyone, look at me. I mean, I'm the happiest guy you'll ever see in this world. People who work with me know that I'll never crib. It's joy over my face that I work in HCCB, and it's only because I work here. Number one, it's the brand. Okay. And I'm not saying it in order of priority, but I'm just saying number one is the brand. Okay. The second part of it, I'll tell you, is we are an amazing organization and people should understand this. Unlike any other FMCG organization, okay, we have so many functions and sub-functions that one has an amazing career over here for at least 12 to 14 years. We believe in job rotation very clearly. You'll rarely see somebody who has done one role for a long period of time. You can move to in the commercial function, and I'll talk for commercial here. You can move into a sales role. You can move into a center of excellence role. Within the center of excellence, there's route to market, there is winning at point of sale, there is premium, there is revenue growth management. Within revenue growth management, there's pricing, there's demand forecasting, there's analytics. Within RTM, there's capability, there is rural, there is urban. Within sales, there is an hierarchy, there is channel roles, there are marketing roles. Every 2 years, you're working in a new organization. How many FMCG organizations can talk about this? That is the biggest advantage of working here. You're fresh as a daisy every 2 years. You're learning every year. You're learning every day on the job. And if that is not enough, you have exposure to the operating unit, okay, which is the marketing company on the other side, and you have exposure to the bottling investment group, which is sitting in Singapore. I can tell you the number of people today, at least 12 to 15 CEOs are India-made CEOs who are working abroad. How many organizations can provide you that? So you have job rotation, you have foreign exposure, you have exposure to the operating unit, and you're working with like 5,000 people, different cultures, different different languages. Why wouldn't you want to join an organization like this? Now, one can look at it both ways, but I look at it very positively. Look at the leadership group, the middle management to and above. Most of them have spent 15 to 18 years in this organization, and most of them have been successful because the kind of training programs that are provided in our organization is second to none. So what happens is, when you become older, you don't become redundant, but you're gaining experience and coming with a new set of skills. So the experience is your maturity and your leadership, and the new set of skills through the training programs is something which gives you the super blend of moving to the next level. Again, how many organizations can give you that? I have gone to Australia to do a 1-month market impact team when I was in 2005. Can you imagine how young I was in my career, and I went for 1 month exposure? I have been across the world for market impact teams, for learning sessions, and for learning trips. We have won incentive trips. Many of us, I can tell you, you name the person, you would have gone to some country or the other. How many organizations can provide you that? So why wouldn't you want to be a part of this? It's an institution. It's a career. I mean, if you ask me, I'll be really disappointed if I don't complete my life in Hindustan Coca-Cola beverages or in the Coca-Cola system. The worst that can ever happen to me is for some reason I'm asked to go. Because if I'm not asked to go, I'm not leaving from here. It's as simple as that. So, I mean, I'm a living example. If you really believe me, and if all what you've said about me is true, then this is the place to join.
So spoken like a true brand ambassador, true employer brand ambassador for HCCB. And friends, no wonder we need to send him to campus again and again.
Yeah, there's been a lot of stories about the campus. I mean, I don't know if you've heard, but at one point of time, I was probably doing every campus alone because they were not sending anybody else except me. You have to go. And those are the days.
I think we need to find more time on your schedule now to do that again. But excellent. Thanks for the brutal honesty. Your career, time spent here, any advice that you received which has kind of made a big difference to you? And also, when you reflect back in your career, what would you tell the younger Sunil Lobo to do or not to do?
It's a tough one. Advice, I can tell you, super advice. I mean, firstly, I've had a lot of people who have advised me and taken decisions on my behalf when I was younger because they were the big bosses, and I thank most of them for that. But the learnings, professional learnings, is being on the job. You know, I started my career as a management trainee, in fact, in Karnataka, based in Hubli. And my first boss sent me to the rural markets on a trip for 20 days, which ended up me spending 3 days in a van, okay, and sleeping in the van, okay, no hotels, no nothing. And my journey from there on actually started, and all my professional learning started coming on the job. I never in my wildest dreams thought, and I repeat again, sorry I keep saying that, but a Bandra boy in a rural market in Gulbarga, in the district of Sedam, sleeping in a van with the salesman, with the driver, all three of us together because I couldn't find a hotel room. My next stint, when I was like young, I was suddenly one day picked up and said, you're going to go to Bihar. I lived there for 2 years. For 2 years. Okay, when I was like 30 years old or something. And that changed my life. Okay. Today, a lot of it is because of that stint in Bihar. I learned everything from culture, language, understood a lot of things, and it intrigued me to learn more. And over a period of time, I traveled the length and breadth of the country, and my professional learnings have all been in bits and pieces from all this. And hence, it's always been people first for me is because I've been touched by so many people, learning their language, cultures, food habits, traditions. Okay, and many people even respect, the sir part of it, or understanding G part of it. I didn't know all this. Honestly, I didn't know all this. I didn't know that you respect someone by saying, Gaurav G. I was like, it was like funny for me. But then over a period of time, you learn all that. If I had to give some advice to a younger Sunil, I would have said that learn, like I am called the man of the masses, learn to also get along with your bosses.
Another good one.
I think the last 4-5 years, I've learned a lot and I've managed in that direction. But I don't think I was a great guy to my bosses. I've always given them a tough time right from the time I was young, because I don't know why. Because as I said, I don't like anyone speaking to someone else disrespectfully. I can't have someone shouting at someone else. I mean, even if that person is not me, it irritates me. And over a period of time, I don't know, I always thought my bosses were demons. I mean, it's my fault. It's not theirs. I always thought, these guys are come here only to, make your life hell. It's only later I started realizing, and now I am fine. Yeah. Last 4-5 years have been good in that regard. So if I had to advise somebody, I would have said, you've got to manage both parts of, take care of the people below. Also give confidence to your bosses that you're the right man to manage the business for them. Secondly, I would say is that based on my experiences, don't get stuck with, I want to be in this location, I want to be here, I have this problem, I am just married, this. Stop that nonsense. If you really want a career in sales, and marketing, if you want a career in this organization, learn to expose yourself. Very, very important. And number 3 is learn to get exposed in different departments within an organization. As I said previously, you can't get a better organization with so many functions and sub-functions. Okay? Don't get stuck because you're in your comfort zone. You will automatically do it. And finally, one mistake I did make earlier in my life, when I was at, management trainee, fighting with those boys of the same batch, trying to move there, 1 grade here, and I would get irritated, salary not so high, I used to get irritated. I made those mistakes. My advice to anyone or to myself would be, look at the larger picture. It finally evens out. Once you cross the age of 45 types, it's a battle of attrition. It's your health, it's your family, it's your friends, everything. If all that is fine, your career will grow. We run too early for that 2% extra salary or a grade here and there. Don't do that. Think of the larger picture, because everything evens out. That's my only advice.
So Sunil, so far we've spoken about Sunil Lobo, the leader, the commercial head, and what made you the leader, advice that you've given to people. Now we want to understand Sunil Lobo as the person on your personal side. So let's get into a few questions around that. Are you ready? Fantastic. We've done our research, and our research tells us that you were quite a sports person in your school days and college days. In fact, we know that you used to play 3 sports very well: hockey, basketball, and table tennis. And we've also seen a photograph of you being hoisted up by your team after a match. I think you won some championship. Now, you've been great in sports. What are some of the leadership lessons that sports has taught you? And also, what is your favorite sport?
So firstly, Gaurav, you got the question wrong.
Oh, really?
Yes, you said I was very good at sports in school.
No?
I'm very arrogant about this. I'm still good in sports.
Oh my goodness. If there's one thing that you're arrogant about.
Well, that's it. But I love sports. Okay. My life's learnings are through sports. Okay. Whatever you've seen on the work side of me is actually all come through sports. With the locality that I lived in, we walked, talked, sports. Everything was sports. I mean, you live, the area that I lived in, Bandra and around that Mahim and this, there used to be a sport called rink hockey. So you would only ever have a girlfriend if you were good in hockey and you could jive. Okay. So everyone wanted to play hockey.
That's some motivation.
Yeah, everyone wanted to play hockey because they would have some girls who used to come to watch them play, and It was a big sport then. Sport is my life. I mean, I am a walking, talking encyclopedia on sports. If you ask me most, I will know, except golf and chess. Okay. But besides that, I think I am in tune with sports even today. And I play sports even today. It's taught me a lot. Let me give you the biggest learning of my life. I've said this story to a few people, but it's a little bit different. It's not the sport by sport, but it's the biggest learning of my life. When I was in class 8, there was a table tennis tournament going on, inter-school, all schools in Mumbai. And I was seeded number 5. And the winner of that tournament would get a BSA SLR cycle because it was sponsored by BSA SLR. Yeah. And at the same time, were the selection trials for the sub-junior national team. The hockey trials were in the morning for 2 hours, and then the table tennis tournament used to start in the morning and end till evening. There were many rounds, right? So the first 2-3 days I went for the trials, and from there I took the train from King Circle, straight went to Churchgate in Bombay and played my rounds. Then came the time that the trials were in the morning, but the tournament had reached the quarterfinal stage. So the quarterfinals were in the morning. So I gave the stick to someone, hockey stick, and I told one of my guys, tell them I'm not well, because I was sure to be in the team. I was playing in the first 11 every day. So give them, say I'm not well, I'll come tomorrow. So confident and so arrogant about myself, 13 years of age, okay. And I went in the train to play my table tennis match, thinking I'll win that, another 2 rounds and I'll get the BSA SLR cycle, and I lost. And I lost badly. So I went to my friend's house and I said, give my stick. I said, who all are in the team? So he started telling me, and my name was not there. I said, I'm not in the team? He said, no. I said, who's in the team in my place? He's saying, me. You. He was a substitute in our school team, but he got in. I said, how? He's saying, you were not there. So, but I told you to tell them. He said, yeah, but they didn't put you in the team. I said, okay. I was sad, and I was sitting over there, and my sir, the coach, came in the evening and on his cycle, and he said, I heard you didn't get into the national team. I said, yeah. Why? I said, I don't know, they must have not selected me. And I lied. Okay. I went back, tossed and turned the whole night, not knowing what to do, whom to tell. One side I've told lies, the other side I've lost. My friends are all there, but nothing. The next day I went to school. When I went to school, you have this assembly in school, right? So our sports sir was standing there, and suddenly I saw this hockey sir of mine who was there, and the sports sir said, Arey, Sunil, what happened? You lost in the table tennis. I said, yes, sir. I lost in the table tennis. He said, yeah, and I heard you didn't get into it. I said, yes, sir. And suddenly from the other side, I got a slap across my face in front of students who were standing there. I was shocked. I said, what happened? And they showed me the newspaper cutting. In those days, newspapers used to record all sports, right? It was written over there, certain guy upset Sunil Lobo in the quarterfinals of the table tennis. So the lie I had said about the not getting into the hockey team was because I messed it up. And I think that is my biggest learning from sport. And I think since then, I have been someone who believes in transparency and truth, because you can tell one lie and then you have to tell another, and another. Is best to say the truth and get away with it. So that for me actually is my biggest learning from sport. Plus there are many others, but that's what it is. In terms of my favorite sport, of course I can't play hockey anymore. 10 years back, I tried to play hockey and everyone started saying, Uncle, pass the ball, Uncle, pass the ball. I stopped playing only. I said, hut, I'm not playing with you all. Because you need a lot of fitness, right? So and then I took up badminton. I'm good at it also. And
good.
And last 3 years, I started playing tennis during COVID, and I'm damn good at it. Okay, so I just want to tell you, my favorite sport to play remains hockey. I can't play it anymore, so now it's tennis. And to watch is definitely football. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Any favorite football team?
Yeah, by far Real Madrid. By far Real Madrid. I mean, that's a team I followed all my life. The reality is I don't follow teams. I follow players when they join teams. And hence, I follow Cristiano Ronaldo. He was in Real Madrid for a long period of time. But Real Madrid as a club is also something that I love. So I still follow them.
Got that. So now sticking with sports. We've also heard that your favorite cricketer is Robin Singh, the ex-India cricketer.
Yeah.
Now, that's a unique pick. I haven't heard many people who have Robin Singh as their favorite cricketer. Why is that?
You don't have many friends who are my age.
True that.
I have many sports people whom I actually look up to. Why I have picked Robin Singh, and he's my favorite for years, is because Robin Singh, if you notice his career span, he came in as a young boy, born in West Indies, came to India, qualified to play for India, and Robindra Singh represented India when he was very young in a test series against West Indies. He got smashed all over the place. And then he was missing for 1 decade. No one ever heard of him. And suddenly, when people retire, he was playing Ranjit cricket for Tamil Nadu and he got selected for the Indian team. That's when I realized Robin Singh was half a batsman. Okay, he was half a batsman. You would not really put him in your top order. Robin Singh was half a bowler. You wouldn't give him to bowl till you didn't have the fifth bowler. But he was a fabulous fielder. And when Robin Singh used to run between the wickets, you could actually hear yourself telling, "Go, Robin, go." Because every time he went for the first run, he was ready for the second run. And you know, in those days, the fitness of the Indian team was not so great. Robin Singh, for me, he was the epitome of effort and hard work. And guess what? Robin Singh played 130 plus internationals for India. 130 one-day internationals plus for India, and he played a test match for India. A man who was half a batsman, half a bowler, a great fielder, Mumbai Indians coach for the last decade or whatever since the IPL. You don't get them coming every day. These are the guys who are really what India needs. You get brilliant guys. We can name 400. Okay. He was not brilliant. He was just an average person who made his mark in international cricket because of his effort, his hard work, his demeanor, and his ability to never give up. After a decade, he came back into sport. A decade. Show me a single cricketer in this world who has come back after a decade and played international sports. It's only one man, Robin Singh. And therefore, I always look up.
Now, moving on to leadership behavior, if I can move to the next question. What's the best leadership advice you've got so far? And any person that you remember as your mentor?
So, I've had a lot of people who advised me. They always told me that I am sarcastic. I am too casual. I am everything under the sun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got some great advice over the years. If you really ask me, and this is not that I don't want to mention many leaders. I actually have a lot of help from a lot of leaders. But one leader who actually gave me some advice, which fits easily into my being, was Christina. Christina used to be the ex-CEO here. And, you know, she saw me struggling. She actually saw me struggling. There was a time in my life I was trying to change. I was trying to become and look more serious, wear trousers and shirts.
Can't imagine.
Yeah, I know. No one can imagine. I mean, imagine seeing me in a trouser and a shirt. So I was trying to be that little, and one fine day she called me and said, "Come here." I said, "What happened?" She said, "Listen." She said, "I know you're trying to be that little serious guy. Someone has given you some advice." She said, "You're being that serious guy, trying to... This doesn't look good on you." Saying, what looks good on you is that Sunil who comes in his, casual demeanor, speaks to people, inspires hundreds just standing on the stage, says what he wants, that sarcastic bit. You can tone it down a bit. She says, "You're too sarcastic." But the fact is, just be yourself. Once in a while, put on that fancy dress, but be yourself because you're best in your own skin. She's saying when you're smiling, you're laughing, you're cracking jokes and you're motivating people around you. She's saying that's what we need in leaders. You don't need that. Yes, we do need the other kind of leaders, but it doesn't stick to you. It's not your style. So be comfortable within your skin.
Authentic self.
And be authentic self. She's saying you'll do well. I think that for me was great advice. Not to say I've not got some good advice in the past. I've had some amazing advice. But this one resonates with me. I wanted to be like that. Someone was confirming to me, you can be like that. After that, I've not looked back.
That's a good one again. You spoke about leadership. You spoke about, life lessons. Now, I want to understand more of you as a person when you have tough days. How do you motivate yourself and how do you keep yourself going during those really tough days when nothing's going your way?
If you look at me, and if I tell you that I'm a very devout Christian, will you believe?
Maybe not.
I know. No one believes me. But I pray a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I carry my rosary and my Navina book on me wherever I go, 24/7. I keep it under my pillow when I sleep. I pray a lot and I believe in Mother Mary. There are three people in my life I'll say women in my life have played a very important role, right from my sisters when I was young, my mother, my wife, and my mother-in-law, and finally Mother Mary. Okay, so for me, it's all been this. And even when I'm down, I hate to say this because she's gonna eat my head, but I have my wife and my family by my side. I can go back to my wife anytime and tell her any crap in this world, and she'll listen to me like we were still carrying on like 25 years back. I take super advantage of that. But that's one way I motivate second way of motivating myself. The one is praying, the second is and believe me, I'm blessed. I have this friend circle across everywhere. I mean, I don't have to bother. I just have to pick up the phone or message someone or talk to someone, and there will be laughter around, and there'll be fun around, and there'll be something that will happen which will keep me going. I think, it's God, my family, and friends. At the end of the day, it's that what motivates me. Finally, I get back to it, and it's the MGRs. When I think of them working in the market in 40 degrees temperature and the work that they do on a daily basis, it keeps me going at work, because you say that all is not lost. Tomorrow there are 5,500 people going into the marketplace. The weather will change. The business will come back. The market share will recover. That's what I keep looking at and keeps me going.
So that's a side of you that at least I had not seen. I'm sure a lot of our followers and our audience had not seen. So thanks for talking about your real personal self. Last question in this section. How do you unwind?
When you're free, go to Spotify and go to this playlist called Lord Lobo. Okay? You'll just love the music.
You don't say. You have your own playlist?
Yes, you'll love my music. Okay, actually that's how I unwind. Music is something I like to do. Sports is something which I unwind with. I play regularly. And I enjoy doing that. Okay. I love to party on weekends. As in, party when I mean socialize with my friends, have a drink, have some fun with them. And and watch a lot of sports. I'll watch a lot of sports. That has actually become less. It's restricted to a few hours now because of I don't get the time. So whenever the Premier League football is on, I'm watching on a Sunday evening. Not so much like before. First, it used to be crazy. But yeah, that's how I unwind. That's what I do. And I enjoy myself. And that's fine.
And that makes you the man of the masses.
Who wants to be good to my bosses? Don't forget that.
Yes. And who wants to be good to his bosses, right? That's a life lesson. Okay, so far you spoke about leadership, your philosophy. You spoke about life lessons. You spoke about what matters to you. You spoke about how do you overcome tough days. You spoke about your experiences at HCCB and why people should come and work for us. Then you showed us your real personal self. You became vulnerable. You spoke about what are the three things that matter to you, what keep you humble, grounded, make you the person that you are, the man of the masses, who wants to be nice to his bosses. And now we are finally to the last section, the important one, the rapid fire. Are you ready for this? Team sports or individual sports?
Team sports.
Favorite beverage?
Coca-Cola Zero.
Best thing about being a dad, being a father?
I get to tell my children stories and spin yarns, and they listen to me like it's the truth.
And they believe it? Awesome. Gatherer or hunter?
I'm a hunter, for sure. I truly believe that I'm going for it. Whether you like it or not, I'm going for it.
A great sales quarter or Real Madrid winning the El Clasico in a UEFA Champions League final?
Tough one, man. Okay, let me be diplomatic and say a great sales quarter. But let me be honest, I tell you Real Madrid.
We know the real answer for that. Okay, favorite author, favorite book?
I used to read a lot of fiction. My favorite still remains The 11th Commandment. I love fiction books. I probably would have read every Sidney Sheldon, Frederick Forsyth, Robert Ludlum, and read Mario Puzo a lot.
One thing you can't absolutely do without?
Wife, children, wife. I hope my children don't hear it, but till today it's my wife.
We'll make sure Zach and Aaron don't hear that.
They don't hear it.
Vanessa, that was for you, his wife. Finally, you've done very well in all the three sections. Now, one last question. How would you like to be remembered? What's the legacy you want to leave behind?
I want people to know me as someone who is casual but intense. I'm very intense, and I want people to know that. The exterior may be casual, the interior is intense. If you work with me, you'll know that. I want people to know that I'm transparent and honest. And I want people to know that I believe in dignity of labor and everyone needs to be respected and loved. You can reprimand, you can give feedback, you can ask someone to go because of performance, but don't ever disrespect somebody. I want to be known by these three things, and obviously I want to be known as that fun-loving guy.
Man of the masses, the legend from HCCB, the so-called phantom, the person who shared himself about his leadership philosophy, his personal side, and of course, how he wants to be remembered. He wants to be loved and he wants to connect with the people. So thank you, Sunil, for your candid self today. It's been an amazing session.
Thanks, Gaurav. I mean, it wouldn't have been so easy for me, but the way you asked the questions, thank you very much. You are fantastic.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.